Hello, everybody, and welcome to Youngstown's Talk Channel. It's Joe sitting across from me and Isaac. I'm sitting here live in downtown Youngstown. We're gonna get after it today. Luke is out. Joe, we get to see your lovely, lovely face today.
Yeah.
Usually you're just talking.
Don't take it easy on me. I feel like you're more delicate with me than you are with Luke. So be normal.
I love when you're off camera.
Yeah.
And I get to talk crap. But the thing is, I have gotten complaints from people like, I want to see Joe's face when you're picking on him.
You do not. That is not a true
I want to see Joe's actual reaction. It happens. People are like, I want to see Joe's face when you're talking mad crap. Yeah. But thank you all so much for being here. If you haven't already, go down below, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, whatever. You can call in if you want. Joe, are the phones on or no?
They are.
The phones are on if you want to call in and talk about whatever you want. 330-595-1600. But thanks so much for being here. We're going to get after. Joe, do you want to start local or do you want to start national level?
Let's go
stuff?
National.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen, I think yesterday, the NBA bust that happened with the betting?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm going to bring this full circle. Let me break this down. What happened in the past couple of years is the FBI is doing an investigation, and they are investigating players for cheating in national sports betting. So what I can do as a bettor at home, I can go and I can say, this player who plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers is going to have 6 rebounds. He's going to have 20 points, and he is going to have, this 10 assists. So what the FBI is digging into and finding out is there are players that are cheating on purpose and telling all of their friends, hey, I've been nursing like an ankle injury. Okay. I'm going to go out in the first quarter and say my ankle's bothering me. I'm going to tweak my ankle and I'm going to go out and I'm going to be out for the game. So what you're going to do is you're going to tells all his family and friends, you're going to bet the under. What that means is I'm going to have, if the spread and if Vegas thinks I'm going to have 6 rebounds, I'm going to have 10 assists, I'm going to have 20 points. Say I'm going to have under that. Bet hundreds of thousands of dollars that I am going to have under 6 rebounds, 20 points. And you do that and you're going to make money. So they bet tens of thousands of dollars and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So why that's wrong? People are betting at home. This is a good player. He's going to have these points. I think he's going to win. And they get screwed over because the player does it on purpose to rig the game. Does that sound wrong? Can everybody at home agree that that's wrong? Can you agree that that's wrong? Do you have anything to say about that?
All right. So let's just say Polymarket started a betting odds that within the first 10 minutes of this program that you reference some kind of anatomical boobs, cock, like whatever.
Okay.
And you found out about it and say, oh, I can bet $1,000. And if I say some kind of anatomical whatever, Bob Smith, who's your friend, say, hey, dude, here's what I want you to do. I want you to lay $20,000 down on the fact that I absolutely will say cock or balls within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. And
now you get to sit there and say, dude, if I say cock or balls in the first 10 minutes of the episode, I make $100,000.
Right.
Would you do it?
It's a sure thing.
Insulate.
Yeah, it's a sure thing. So, ladies and gentlemen watching at home, I want you to think how similar, how close is this rigged game that the NBA players are pulling off to politicians in Washington, D.C. investing in the stock market? How many
100%.
steps off is that? If the stupid FBI is going to go after NBA players for rigging the system, how far off are we from politicians betting on the stock market, passing bills that they know is going to affect industries, telling all their family and friends to bet big on this industry because I'm going to pass a bill. I've gotten all my stupid politicians in DC to agree we're going to pass this bill and it's going to inflate that stock. It's the same damn thing.
Same damn thing.
It's the exact same thing.
Oh, you invaded Prussia and all of a sudden you bought Lockheed Martin?
Right. Or you want to bet unders? You want to bet unders? Okay, like that guy did. He was betting unders. So he was betting he was going to get under his points because he was going to go out in the second quarter. When did they do that? Let's think. When was a time when they knew stocks were going to go down and they pulled all of their stocks out? I don't know. Maybe 2020, right before the macaroni virus?
Boom.
They knew COVID was coming. They were going to do a government shutdown months leading, or a government, everything was going to get shut down due to COVID. They took all of their families, and this is proven. This isn't me just BSing. They took all of their money out of the stock market. All of their family and friends got out, pulled all their money off the table, and then they said, hey, we're going to 6 feet, and it plummeted the stock market, lost money. It's the exact
40 seconds in. I need you to say cocker balls within the first 10 minutes.
Cocker balls. Sorry,
winner!
Right. Baby, that's we bet money on that. Brian says, I thought this would be one show without talk about cock and balls since Luke isn't on today. Brian's helping you out.
Ruined it
because he's getting me to say it by reading the comment.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Brian.
But just think about this. Like, just think about this. The FBI, the federal government, is investigating NBA players for doing shady shit, which I agree is wrong. But it's such a goddamn joke because it's exactly the same thing that the people in charge of the FBI, in charge of all of us, do every single day, and they will never get in trouble because they're the ones that make the rules and they rig the game in their favor, and it's totally fine.
Let's just be honest about it. Do you think anything that we see publicly is not curated? Sports, politics, business.
To a degree, it is.
So WWE's are like their fans are like middle fingering everybody because they are overtly fake. They're there for entertainment.
Yeah.
You know it's being curated by somebody. Right. But do we believe the NFL and the NBA and politics is somehow not like referee induced or player induced for outcomes?
It's very much it's curated by money and what people are willing to spend money on. Like I truly believe that in the NFL, like unless you have an incredible athletes that draw a huge amount of fair weather fans, like LeBron did with the Cavaliers, the loss of money the NFL would endure if the Browns made it to the Super Bowl versus Kansas City making it to the Super Bowl is astronomical. Because you have the storyline of Kansas City and Taylor Swift and all this BS that they make so much more money with that team going to the NFL than the Cleveland Browns do. So to a degree, I don't know. I mean, you could argue how much that actually happens, but
can we just say that it's all fake? It's all an illusion and it's all for money and business.
I guess. But it's like, you don't want to do that because if as a person, if you do that, everything's fake. It's a rigged game. Why am I wasting my time?
100%.
I don't want the everyday person sitting at home saying I'm wasting my time trying to be I'm wasting my time trying to do good things, because that's not true at all.
Well, everybody knows reality TV shows are not real. Yeah. Everybody knows that wrestling is not real, but you have people who watch in spite of knowing that everything's
because it's a good TV show. You know, it's got a good story. It's got a good plot line.
What's football?
Yeah. I don't know. It's got a good plot.
It's not different.
All right. Everybody's got their teams, you know, reality TV. It's got a good plot. Illusion. Yeah. I don't know. They tell a good story, don't they?
Yes, they do.
But I can't get over how comical it is that the federal government is going after these NBA players, and they every single day invest in the stock market. And that's why they should not be investing in the stock market at all whatsoever. They should be passing laws based on what is best for the people that elected them, and they shouldn't be able to get in there and make $170,000 a year and end up leaving with millions and millions and millions of dollars in their bank account.
Our example where you and I can split in 100,000 on the polymarket cock and balls bet.
Right. Yeah.
Would you be able to say you're so noble if you see everybody around you doing it,
right?
Everybody prospering because of it,
right?
And I made that pitch to you, said all you got to do is say cock and balls, and you're like, that's not a big deal,
right?
Totally, that's in my nature anyway. It's not something that I would not accidentally say within the first 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
What could you pass on the opportunity to do the same thing that everybody else is doing?
I think you pass on the opportunity because as an NBA player, you expose yourself, you lose the opportunity to continue making money as an NBA player and continue to play the game that you love. If I start abusing the system to maximize profits, you become a fraud, and the people no longer.
But why would you
in
do that? Let's just say you had a high school quarterback, you had two of them. One of them was like, I'm good at the game, I'm gonna let what I do on the field speak for me.
Yeah.
And then you have the other one, it's like, hey, my social media presence is gonna make me get recruited by whatever, right? And then you watch these two things play out, and the guy that just let what he did on the field play out, he doesn't get recruited, doesn't get to a big school. But the person that makes larger than life entertainment value, interesting to watch, full of drama, gets recruited by a Big Ten.
But that only gets you so far, because at the end of the day, if you go out there and you ball out, you make the passes, you do everything you're supposed to do, you score the touchdowns, you score the points, you're gonna get recruited somewhere. So being good and also having a social media presence is important, but to a degree, if you are good enough and you're big enough and you're great enough, it doesn't matter what your social media presence looks like. Somebody's going to want you on your team.
But on a long term, like let's just say NBA players, they can make $1 million by faking a tweaked ankle.
Yeah.
The point guard that didn't tweak the ankle, he's like, oh, I didn't do it. I played the game legit, and I didn't get 100,000.
But he continues down the road of greatness and keeps playing while the other player gets the FBI breathing down their neck and gets kicked out of the NBA.
Punishment. So it requires some punishment to dissuade people from doing the theatrics.
Yeah, but there's no way to punish the people in charge. So you have to stop, and they'll never pass the law because they have to pass it on themselves, you know? So these national politicians should not be investing in the stock market at all whatsoever. Do we have any comments at all?
Dude,
I can't tell. I don't know. They're disappearing here. Brian says it's called entertainment for a reason. A lot of people watch WWE and we know it's fake. Yep. This is just what Joe said.
100%.
But isn't that frustrating? That makes me so mad. And they're the FBI standing up on the screen and acting like we did a big thing. We're so great. It's like you're all just make me want to puke.
So with DeSantis down in Florida really pushing for term limits. All right. So
great. Do it. That would eliminate the stock market thing too. Even
if
more.
You're only there for one term. You don't have time.
You can only make so much money. So then maybe you'll focus on actually doing the things that the people who elected you to that would. And I meant to talk to you about this in the past. Term limits would solve that issue. You wouldn't even have to pass the laws to not let them invest because they'd only be there for so long.
Well, let me throw the argument. Your representative from your district represents you well. They've been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
They bring a ton of business down to your community. Are you willing to give up their ability because of their power and the seat that they held?
It's not about the great ones. It's not about the good ones. Our founding fathers, George Washington, knew that, hey, the best leaders are going to understand that stepping down and letting the next people come through.
You'd be willing to give that up. You get all the benefits. Your area's rocking it because of your representative. They're doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, arbitrarily, I'm going to pull the rug out on you and put some newbie who's going to have no seats on any.
Yes, because it's not about the great ones. It's about the bad apples that are pieces of crap, that are corrupt, that are collecting paychecks, because those people can only be in there for so long and do so much damage. The great ones will be able to lead by example and teach the next generation, hey, this is why we do what we do. This is why we do it this way. And it will scare away, the system will scare away the bad ones.
Okay.
And say,
I agree with it.
I'm not gonna be able to get in, become a politician, become a corrupt politician, and start at $160,000 a year, and eventually make millions and millions and millions of dollars when I get out 30 years from now, and I'll just go be a Dem in California or go be a Republican in Texas and be able to stay there forever and make millions of dollars. Why would I even waste my time? I'll go get into some other shady thing. Like, it will scare them away because it will no longer become something that is about making money. It will become something that's about you're in there for the betterment of the voters that put you there. And it's something bigger than just you. And it's no longer about profit. So that's super important. And that will scare away the politicians that are being lobbied from industry that are like, hey, you know, why don't you put all the chemicals in the Fruit Loops? Let us put all the chemicals in the Fruit Loops and we'll toss you a little check. You know, that can only be so effective if you're staying there for a couple years. And you're gonna be like, I don't want to be corrupt. I'm only going to
solve one problem, but it creates 5 others. And it really is whatever problems you're better at tackling.
Career politicians just jump offices. That's a good point. They just jump around like what's his name? Tim. Who's that? Oh my God, what's his last name? Tim Ryan?
Tim Ryan?
Is that the career politician from locally?
Then he went to the Senate.
Yeah. So they just jump around. Yeah. I mean, what do? Do you cut off that head too and say, hey, you're only allowed 4 years in government? The problem it
solves, it takes somebody who's been there 20 years that sits in a position,
yeah,
will never get voted out because of the district that they hold.
Right.
If they're forced to jump down to the Senate or up to the Senate and down to their House of Representatives, it at least dislodges that group.
Yeah. So what's the worst that could happen with term limits? Nothing happens and everyone just continues to argue and gets nothing done. So no difference. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to get any worse. Just do it. But
except for your local community.
They'll never frickin' do it because they have to chop off their own leg for the betterment of society. And that is just a beautiful, poetic example of what America is. It's all about me. I'm the best. Individualism. And I am better than everybody else. Look at me. But never willing to do the right thing for the betterment of everyone.
Can you do another cock and balls? I got a 30-minute bet too.
Cock and balls.
Thank you.
Yeah, I need to make my money. So sad. Stephanie says Larry D. She's talking about a Poland. Donopoulos was Poland's school board member who's now running for Poland Township, I believe. So it's like so you're saying at a local level, good people could stay in for longer because people would know them more. I don't even care as much about the local level. I want national politicians that are doing backroom deals that we all know are happening that are then, and it's stopping them from investing in the stock market is only going to do so much. It's only going to create, just make them get more creative with how they make their money. So term limits are ultimately the most important thing.
All right, so let's just say you got elected freshman into the Senate, right?
Yeah.
First year.
Yeah.
Do you think if you went head to head with someone who has been there for 30 years, like Bernie Sanders, would you feel differently if you had a celebrity in the Senate that everybody knew and they had this larger than life personality versus a person that is only 3 years ahead of you that nobody really knows their name and you can actually debate it instead of debating against a rock star who
you would have to go in there and stand out enough and be your own rock star to take on Bernie Sanders or whoever you're taking on. You have to go in like what a politician should do if they want to get elected is go hear what the people have to say and take term limits, no investing in the stock market, and just keep repeating those 3 things or those 2 things over and over and over. If I get in, I'm going to change this. I'm going to vote to change this, and I'm going to vote to change this. The career politicians use the same tactics on the people at home every single day, and you don't even realize it. The left loves calling everybody Nazis. They just repeat it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. If you're not on our team, you're this. The right does it too. If you don't agree with us, you're woke. And they just repeat the same thing over and over. use it for the better good and say, listen, I'm going to get into office, or I'm going to compete with Bernie Sanders. What I promise you at home I will do is I will create term limits for all national politicians when I get in there, and I will fight to eliminate us investing in the stock market, and just repeat that over and over and over. And Bernie Sanders is going to try and say like, oh, I dug up these tweets from 2012 and you said this. You're a terrible person. Cool, Bernie Sanders. I'm a human being and people make mistakes, but I am getting in because I am doing these two things. And truly, that is all I care about. We can argue about everything else, but all I'm caring about and all I want the people to know at home is that I'm doing these two things, because that's why they voted me in. And we're all in the same brainwave here. They voted me in. They know this is what I want to do. This is the most important thing in their eyes, and that's why they elected me, and I'm going to do it. And just keep repeating that over and over. You'll get in.
Senator Schuster, you can make a $2,000 donation today to Youngstown studio.
Just like everybody on the internet, I have too many sound bites of myself. You could go dig up some podcasts that nobody watched when I first started out in 2020, and they'd cut something up, and then I'd be a racist forever.
You would not have to cut much up.
No,
it would be, no. I'm going to play you in entirety what Isaac is all about, and please answer for this.
Yeah, people are listing council people in the comment section. Gary says, trust me, term limits will never happen in national politics. They have to create the term limits. It's like the old saying goes, the fox is guarding the hen house. Yeah, they'll never do it because they have to chop off their own leg. It can be voted in by the American Joe, but a 1v99 vote to keep term limits doesn't do much for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I lost the point I was going to say. So we're talking about
your Senate run, of course.
No, I'm not. I have way too many. Like I said, I have way too many sound bites of me saying awful things.
Balls? Yeah.
Yes, saying awful things. We have a caller calling in right now. Yeah, I need a pen and paper so I can write my thoughts down because I had a good point.
You have a pen. Let me get you a paper. All right, caller, you're on.
Hello? Caller, are you there? Can anybody at home hear the person talking right now? Because I can't hear anything. I'm sorry, guys. No caller. I'm just going to drop this call. Maybe try calling in again. Joe, help me. Help me.
Yo, no, don't touch it.
I don't know what. I don't know what's happening. No caller. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Can't hear the call. Lynn says can't hear the caller. But yeah, it's you can't, and that's the thing, right? So this is the point I wanted to make. The American people and local people need to realize that politicians and all these people that run for these positions are still human. Anybody who curates their entire life from the start of their existence, because that's the only way you're going to get it in and out scot-free, is if you're like, I'm going to be a politician, so I'm never going to say anything bad. I'm never going to make bad choices. I'm going to be this shell of a human being that that watches everything that I say so that I can one day run for president of the United States. That's a psychopath.
Yep. Caller, are you there?
Jimmy said, sorry, I was trying to play a racist rant by Isaac over the telephone line. Audio screwed up, though.
All right, fine.
I don't know what's going on with the phones today. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize if you're calling in. If you want to comment, or my phone is on silent right now. If you want to call my cell phone and leave a voicemail, you can leave a voicemail and I'll play it on the show.
There was one voicemail that was left after last week's show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's go through it while Joe's doing that. But like, I think we need to be more forgiving as people and not cancel everyone who says anything bad, especially if it was like 10 years ago. The terrible things that I did and said as a 20-year-old, as a 21-year-old, as a 22-year-old, I wasn't an adult until I was like 26. And now I even say stupid things sometimes that I regret saying all the time. So we're human beings. And this ridiculous culture of, well, people aren't allowed. If you say one thing bad, you're gone forever. It's like crazy. Crazy, crazy.
All right, caller, are you there? No.
Is this something on our end, Joe?
I have no idea. I don't know. Sorry, caller.
Okay, here's what you do, caller. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Call my phone up, my cell phone. My cell phone is 330-921-8978. Leave a voicemail of your thoughts, and I will share it on the podcast. I'll put my phone up to the mic, and you can share your thoughts. Jerry says, should also standardize terms. Some are 2 years, some are 4 years, some are 6 years, and some are for life. I say make all 3 years. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you want people to truly understand what they're voting for in today's world, I think make it as easy as possible. All right. Hello? Hello? You know who it is?
What's that?
It's totally Luke calling in trying to say he's Michael Ciccone.
Yeah.
That's who it is.
All right. So if some of these elections cost billions of dollars to campaign for,
yeah,
and you can't guarantee me that if I give you money for your campaign, that you're going to be around long enough for me to pay dividends on what I'm willing to give you.
Right.
Would campaign finance be reformed only by term limits because you'd suck money out of how much money's put into these things?
Yeah. Totally. I think it's all about money. So they would change everything, you know? Yeah, but I think back to what Jerry was saying, I think you make it as easy as possible just because that's the direction everything goes, right? Technology, phones, the simpler everything is to operate, the more people get involved. ML Obras, Luke says, I am mass reporting this show for saying C and B. Cockaballs.
Cockaballs.
Did you guys seriously make bets or something? Or why does everybody keep bringing up cockaballs?
That's the 40-minute hour, or 40-minute hour pays
right
3-1.
So do you think do you think that everyone should vote? You know how that comes up?
No.
That comes up every stupid election.
No.
Where they're like, get out and vote. Your vote matters.
It doesn't. I think there are not enough intelligent people.
No.
I think there should be a test to say whether or not you have enough logic or intelligence to be able to vote correctly.
And then it becomes this disgusting dance that each side does to try and dumb everything down enough and say, hey, we're the cool side. Mm-hmm. We're the cool side and we're the good guys. So vote for our candidate.
So who should be able to vote? What would your qualifiers be if you wanted to get rid of the brain dead people out of the voting public?
So that's the beauty of our country and this crazy experiment that we have going on is that everybody has a say. So I don't think you tell people what they can and can't do, because that's just a big thing that both of you and I believe in. Don't tell anybody what they can and can't do. We have the liberties.
All right. Well, okay. So let's just say,
but just educate yourself. So go out of your way to educate yourself if you're going to vote. If you're not going to educate yourself and you're just going to listen to what your favorite celebrity told you to vote on, don't do that.
So let's just say you're a taxpayer and I'm not a taxpayer, right? Mm-hmm. I pay $0 in taxes. Should I be able to vote on something that raises taxes when I don't have any downside to voting it? Property owners. I don't own property.
Right.
Should I be able to vote on a property tax where you're a property owner? Should your vote be more valuable than mine?
No. Because
so I should be able to vote you into a servitude. Really? Really?
No, I don't think. I think everybody should have a vote no matter what. I think everybody should, because if only property owners are voting, what are they going to do?
Property taxes. Not just everything, just on property taxes.
But they are going to, eventually it's going to become a gross game where the property owners are all voting to make their lives as good as possible. And then the people who don't own property, the renters, are going to get screwed.
Well, reverse it. What if there are 10,000 renters and 100 property owners? And the 10,000 non-property owners could just keep making it 90, 100, 1,000% taxes on property.
Well, what happens now? Does that happen now? That's the current situation.
It could.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
If you get a big enough group of people that don't have any skin in the game being able to vote on something that doesn't affect them, you absolutely get tyranny. Local politics voting matters. And I would be a straight up liar if I didn't get into the booth sometimes when you're going to vote. And it's like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know what this position is. You know what I mean? I'm just like, especially when I was younger, I'd get in there and I'd be like, local politician, I like this name. Or I see everybody does it. I see a Republican, I'm going to vote Republican. I see an R by their name, I see a Dem, I'm going to vote Dem. See it all the time. Yeah.
Melanie, my grandparents used to say, if you don't vote, you can't bitch. Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Terry says that is an ignorant response. Intelligence doesn't mean one is ethical.
Yeah. Dumb people with ethics versus intelligent people with none.
Yeah.
Skin in the game is really my only prerequisite, that you can't vote. If I'm fronting dinner, right, I'm paying the bill.
Yeah.
And everybody gets to order whatever they want. Should I have a say in what they order? They can go hog wild when it doesn't affect them whatsoever.
Yeah.
I should have more say and be able to say, hey, you don't normally order lobster, right? But right now, because I'm paying, you're ordering lobster. And I'm going to say, tone it down a little bit, orderer.
Would you do that?
I absolutely
would never do that.
I would totally do that.
If I went to dinner with somebody and I know I'm paying, like you agreed to the terms up front.
I would never invite an adversary, someone who has it out for me, to be able to go to the order, because I know that's what they're freaking going to do.
Right. But if I went to dinner with you and I said, hey, we're going to this restaurant.
Yes.
If I know surf and turf's on the menu and I bring you to the table and you say, Joe, get whatever you want.
Good agreement. I would
you get surf and turf. I can't be freaking pissed.
If I took Liam Matthews or someone who I know,
why would you say his name? He is such a troll. Don't say his name.
But I know if I ordered him,
he hates your stinking guts, dude.
If I ordered him, if I knew that he would look to punish me by what he ordered, he'd be like, "I'll take 75 surf and turfs right now." Ha! Right?
Yeah.
I would never invite him.
I can't believe you said his name. You should have said his name.
It's part of the gig.
Yeah, he'd order 75 surf and turfs.
Right.
And he said, Joe, you're an idiot, but you're rich, so you can afford it, even though you're an idiot. But he'd actually never go to dinner with you because he's such a troll. He'd just hide.
Right. And so I'd need to limit my exposure by the people who are adversaries for using their position in their group of people to hurt me, not because it's good economics or it's ethical. They're gunning for you.
I don't like limiting people's voices in any way, shape, or form.
So Liam's at the table with you. You're paying for his 75, and you're going to be like, man, I'm going to take that on the chin.
Stop saying the name.
Because I think that Liam should be able to order whatever he freaking wants.
I hate that this is live, and we can't go back and edit that, because now people are going to look up who that is.
No,
I don't want to give him any freaking credit at all whatsoever. Isaac, what's up, brother?
How you doing, man? Good
to see you. I'm on this side today.
Thanks.
You're a little cold, dude.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I know. Luke's out today, so I'm sitting on this side. But be good. Be good. He'd buy Lauren lobster.
He would. He would.
No, you would.
No, I would not. Liam would buy his mom, Lauren, lobster.
Oh, it's his mom.
It's his mom.
Okay.
He would buy Lauren lobster. He'd actually take a to-go bag with 1,000 tails of lobster.
Trolls make me so angry. No, so trolls against me, I don't care, because they know I'll fight back. That person that you brought up blocked me because he knows I'll fight back. But Joe is the type of person on his social media page that anything goes. He'll never fight back. He'll never combat a troll. He'll let people go in his comment section and go crazy in his comment section. So there are trolls out there that sit in Joe's comment section
waiting.
And all they do is I got a little phone call from Dave Betras calling in. And they just annoy Joe. But I have Dave Betras calling in. I'm going to take this phone call. Uncle Dave Betras, how are you, sir?
Good. Do you want me to call in?
Joe, can we get the phone lines working?
Let me reboot everything because something's obviously wrong.
We're live right now. We're gonna try and reboot our phone system.
Marion County.
You're in Marion County right now?
Yeah, I'd rather fucking have fucking needles in my eye.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the phones. Let's
Give
get
me
the
5 minutes. Call back.
Call the show. Do you have our phone number or do you want me to text it to you?
No, give me the show number's number.
330-595-1600. Call in 5 minutes and
I love how the people were criticizing my English as if that's the fucking point.
Let's I think we should talk about that. Call in 5 minutes.
Talk to text. I didn't put it through AI.
It was early. I was
given my raw emotion.
Okay.
I could have used better language, but that's not the point.
This is all good content. Call in 5 minutes and we'll talk live so everybody can hear it. All right. Talk soon. Bye. Okay, Dave Betras will be calling about the whole Michael Ciccone situation, Jen Ciccone situation. I'm so excited to talk to him. But before I go, I just want to say there are trolls out there that troll Joe. Joe is an innocent human being. Joe is a good human being. Joe is an awesome guy, a very smart guy, but he's not an academic. He didn't go to college, but he's very smart. And these people antagonize Joe, call him stupid for his opinions, and he is one of the smartest people I know in my life. And they are weak, fake, little you are now in the host room and can manage that would never say it to a person's face in their life. Interface. And the internet sucks because of that. Because there are some people, if I ever see him in person, if I ever see that other troll in person, I'm going to walk right up to him and tell them to their face, you are a little bitch and you're weak for going after Joe because you know he won't combat you and you know he won't say anything back to you because he's a good person and you're soft and fuck you is what I would say to their face if I ever see them. But I won't even recognize them because I don't know what they look like because they're trolls. Brian says, if you know someone else is paying for dinner, you try not to order the most expensive thing on the menu. You try and not take advantage of the situation. Decency will come back to you at some point. Yes, absolutely. Everybody knows that person in their life that you try and do the right thing and you try and help them and they take and they take and they take and they take.
So you got to defend it while you would.
You got to put up the walls. I think it's an individual situation though. You got to put up your walls and you say, hey, listen, last time you did this, don't do it again, or we're never going to dinner again.
But those people are voters. You're inviting them to vote for things that take aim at you, and they have nothing to pay for. They're going to vote in idiots like Mandani. Like
then try and have. I have hope that people will do the right thing. We have to teach them to do the right thing.
New York City, Mandani, total socialist, going to tax. We have the
let New York implode. Let the communists get in and let New York explode. And then we can all look at New York and be like, hey, let's not do that.
The epicenter of finance.
The people voted for it.
The people voted for someone who has not a good grasp on mathematics at all.
Right. Let it happen. The people want to see it happen. And they're voting for the city that they live in. Let New York implode. It won't affect us here in Ohio. And then we can all point and laugh. And then in the future, when it doesn't work, we can be like, hey, look, New York burned to the ground because they elected a communist.
That's a person.
And then we move on from there. That's a person who, look, we learned our lesson.
That's a person who lives in Ohio. Let's just
let the kid touch the stove, Joe. Let the child touch the stove and burn his hand.
Let's pretend you just invested 20 years to building a business in New York and you live there.
Yeah.
And this same thing happens. Now, do you think the voters are stupid because now they threaten what you built? Do you still want them to be able to vote for Mandani?
Joe,
it's you.
Let them vote. Let them vote. They're going to learn their lesson.
Destroyed.
Everybody, there's a mass exodus from California.
Yes.
Mass exodus from California. And the Dems in Cali are still so stupid that they're like, oh, we didn't do anything wrong. All the people are leaving. They're going to Texas. Texas is going to turn blue. They're going to burn Texas to the ground. And then they just keep cycling. And while everybody else, the rest of the United States watches and says, hey, look, they're doing it right or they're doing it wrong. And we learn and we vote accordingly.
So you're willing to be a casualty for everybody being able to vote.
What the 2024 presidential election is a perfect example. Everybody was so afraid that it was rigged. And then I after the 2024 election, I was like, wow, I actually have faith in our system. It just constantly rubber bands back and forth. The spectrum shifts back and forth, and it's healthy.
It was just too big to rig.
Yeah.
Too big.
Is Betras on the phone or no?
Yeah, not yet.
If you spent 20 years to build a business in New York, you are the enemy in New York City. Yeah. And what blows is those good people are going to leave New York City. And you have to be smart and realize what's coming. You're going to leave New York City. You're going to take your business to whatever state. And you're going to be like, you're going to tell everybody in that state, this is what happened. This is the sad story. We cannot do that here. That's how it's going to unfold. But you have to let the kid burn his hand on the stove so that we can all learn as a country that it doesn't work. And the voters have to be punished. And then we're going to be like, holy shit, they'll never be communists again when everybody's starving or whatever happens in New York. You just got to think and try and contain it in New York. That's the only problem.
Yeah, what if they leak into Kansas City or Cleveland and you move there and then the socialists follow you and then they elect another Mondani, right? And you're like, no, keep voting, guys. Keep voting. This is working out for us.
Out of the cornfields of Canfield, Ohio, I'll just build a wall around my property. And I'll put barbed wire on top of it. And the country of Isaac Schuster in South Range School District is going to be awesome.
All I want to do is disenfranchise idiots. That's all I'm asking. Don't let them vote, and things will be better. Nothing.
Okay. Oh, let me text him. Freaking Betras. Uncle Dave Betras will be calling in.
This should be good.
330.
This should be quality.
It should be great. 595 1600. That's it, right? So before we start, let's give a breakdown while we wait for Betras to call. Jen Ciccone, Michael Ciccone. Michael Ciccone, clerk of courts, his employee that he hired. Was she elected or no?
I think just hired.
She was hired by Michael Ciccone. Not related. We've commented that about 1 trillion times. They are not related.
Ciccone is just a common name.
It's just a common name.
Everybody could get some.
She was paid a whole bunch of money. Michael has the situation with his wife. We're not going to say the word because we'll get in trouble. So then there's a big feud that happens in the clerk of court's office. He fires Jen. Jen then fires off all these text messages about Michael Ciccone saying all these terrible things, racist terms, pictures of his wife, all these different things that happens. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know the whole story. From day one, when we had them on the podcast. Dave Betras came on the podcast shortly after we had the Ciccones on the podcast. He was critical of Michael and Jen Ciccone. Critical of them. He had nothing but bad things to say about them. They're not good lawyers. They're 2-bit lawyers. They're not smart. They're not intelligent. They took too many times to pass all these crazy things that you would think that a lawyer would, like, I don't know, nonpartisan lawyer wouldn't say. But Betras, he got after him. He made a post. We can read his post. I don't know if he's going to call in or not. He made a post about after all this shit hit the fan, saying, I'll read it. I'll read it while we wait. Let's go to Dave Betras' Facebook page. I know Betras has wanted to come in. Crazy Uncle Dave Betras has wanted to come in on the podcast. He's wanted to talk. He's wanted to give his 2 cents about this entire situation. But he said he's in court. He's somewhere in court in Ohio today. But I'll read his post. When I was talking to him on the... can you believe Uncle Dave Betras has not accepted my friend request on Facebook? Unbelievable. Let's read his post here.
I will tell you, like, if you were to score how correct he was on the Ciccone thing,
bro, he nailed it. He nailed it from day one. He's like, people are going to regret this. This is going to be a bad decision. And man, did he nailed it. Did he take his post down? There it is. Okay. 2 days ago, Betras wanted to come on the podcast. This is what he has to say about the whole Michael and Jen Ciccone situation. I feel sad for the hard work public servants that work at the clerk of court's office. I feel equally sad for the judges who must endure the stench emanating from the clerk of court's office. Both Mike and Jennifer are equally to blame, especially Tags does the dirty tag of Jennifer Ciccone. And he says she is really not a good human being. When she lost for judge to the current judge of Struthers Municipal Court, she was an election denier. She had Mike, her compadre in election denialism, file a complaint accusing all 4 board members of the Board of Elections of committing felonies to fix the election. The level of stupidity that statement is just enormous. Then Mike filed a lawsuit claiming the Board of Elections didn't provide material he requested when he did. This should be a red flag to everyone that Dumb and Dumber had no business running such an important office, and I feel so horrible for the people of Mahoning County because they deserve better. Jennifer Ciccone failed the bar multiple times in an election denier, and now she wants to be the hero of the shitstorm she created. It's truly unbelievable. Both of them should move and find new lives in other areas to go poison in their lives. They've caused enough havoc in our community. Jennifer can give anything she wants to the police, but the bottom line is she's probably one of the most stupidest people I've ever met in my life. And you can't fix stupid. No one should believe anything that comes out of her mouth because, one, she's a habitual liar and she helped create the chaos. That's at the clerk of court's office now. Hey, Jennifer, if I'm saying anything that's untrue, why don't you sue me for defamation so I can put you under oath and take your deposition and really find out the truth of all the havoc you've created and now trying to blame Mike. And there's a lot of blame with Mike, but you and him lit the fire, and that has now engulfed the clerk of court's office. Our citizens demand better, and our judges demand better. You should hang your head in total shame, and you don't even deserve to have your law license. By the way, do you even have your law license currently? Because if memory serves correctly, you told everyone that you were working 80 hours a week for the ungodly pay you were getting. And then Trumbull County Commissioners hired you to be their lawyers at $250 an hour. Does your greed know no bounds? Your husband is a police officer, and if you knew about the abuse, why did you and your police officer husband allow that to happen? You have much blood on your hands, as Mike does. Don't act like the hero of the story. You're the villain. Don't try to make yourself a hero, because I won't allow you to, because the blood dripping from your hands is pulling underneath. You have let down the citizens, and you have let down the judges, and we will never forget the havoc you have created in our community. Don't act like a hero. You're not a hero. You're a villain. I need some water after reading all that, so I'm going to get a drink of water real quick.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, I'm enjoying the series Suits, and Harvey Specter is the most badass lawyer that has been ever presented. I'm going to put Harvey Specter and Dave Betras in the same room, have them high-fiving each other after that complete own of the Ciccones.
What's fun, you know what's really fun, is like, I love being somebody who's done this myself, being a loan officer or real estate agent who's moved away from professionalism, whatever the hell that even means, because I want to relate to the everyday person. Hey, call me if you want to buy a house, if you want to finance a house, whatever. But this move away, the shift away from professionalism and just speaking your mind and not being like, oh, Isaac, you're a loan officer. You shouldn't present yourself like, Isaac, you're a real estate agent. You should wear a suit and show a house. Like, and I show up in like a cutoff and I'm doing a great job as a real estate agent loan officer. So to see a lawyer who works in the courts, who's speaking like that and like calling out bullshit when he sees it. I don't agree with everything Betras says. I know Luke doesn't agree with everything Betras says or thinks politically, but man, you got to give him credit.
Absolutely.
He totally called that.
Yep.
Totally called that. 100% knew it would blow up in our face, and it did. And I agree with him when it comes to Jen Ciccone not being a hero. And we said this on the pod the other day. The problem is, and Jen made a video, and it was really weird, where she was playing in the background. She was playing Taylor Swift's "Look What You Made Me Do." That song, "Look What You Made Me Do." Okay, so what you're saying, Jen, in your video, is that you wouldn't have shared this information you had unless Mike made you do it. But the information that you had was pictures of his wife with black eyes and these text messages of him being a horrible person and saying these terrible things. So you kept and held on to that information rather than going public with it in order to better yourself and collect your paycheck and screw over the people that he was leading and his wife that you suspect allegedly was doing these terrible things. That's not good. That's not good at all. And then you go online and say, look what you made me do. Look, I had to share all this stuff because you screwed me over. That is, as Betras would say, blood on your hands for sure. That's not a good person.
Brian says, poor choice of music considering the controversy around Swift currently. What did Tay do? Like, what controversies swirling?
I don't know.
What did Taylor with our Swift favorite do? Pop star? We do have a call, and I'm
Uncle Dave must have gotten out of court. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Dave, are you there?
I'm here.
All right.
He is here. People watching at home, we have live attorney Dave Betras on the phone lines. From
Marion County.
From Marion County. Sir, I just read your entire Facebook post, so the people are informed of what you have to say. Is there anything you would like to add to that? As we talked on the phone right before, you said people were critiquing your grammar. Sir, as a lawyer, your grammar should be better.
Grammar.
Stupidest,
Look,
right? Is that
stupidest? Isn't a word, sir.
I was a little bit angry when I was making that post because I saw them in some of the text messages where they were making fun of the employees. The one employee they were talking about is a hardworking public employee, and they were making fun of her body, which to me is gross. Okay. And, when I was reading those text messages, I was completely upset. So I just grabbed my phone and I did a talk to text. I didn't put it through AI. I know you shouldn't use the words like most stupidest and stuff like that, but that was the raw emotion coming out to me. The whole point wasn't my English. The whole point is you can't be the arsonist and want to come in and be the fireman. Okay, my whole point, as I told you guys on your show, don't forget I was on your show.
I told everybody that too.
I told you these two are not rocket scientists. Okay, I told you, and I could have predicted that this was going to happen to that office. And what I feel so bad about is the black eye it gives public servants. A lot of people think that people that work for the government, they're lazy, they don't work hard. Yeah, sure, there are people like that, but most of the people that work in that court's office are hardworking people and try to do a diligent job under very arduous circumstances. I equally feel bad for our common pleas judges who must rely on that office to make sure justice gets meted out properly. And anyone in a position of leadership, elected position of leadership, that uses racial language like that is a job given to them, entrusted to them by the public.
Yeah.
That is a public position. To me, to use that language privately and the way he used it, he's a racist. He should not be in that office. Right. He should do the noble thing, what samurais used to do, and commit self-immolation and resign.
Seppuku,
And if he won't resign, there is a way to remove him. Now, it's very difficult. I've done it one time years and years ago, but there is a way to remove him. But everyone, I'm a Democrat. I'll give Gino, who's the commissioner? Gino, God.
He came in last week too. Gino did. He stopped by. Who do you want me to look up? Commissioner of Mahoning County?
No, Gino DeFabio, the county commissioner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Right? He had the guts, the Republican.
Yeah.
To tell the guy to resign. The two Democrats, they were like, oh, well, he needs to apologize. No, he doesn't need to apologize. He needs to resign.
Yeah.
He needs to resign using that kind of language. And she came in making that kind of money. Now, she was on your show, if you remember, saying she was working 80 hours a week. Do you guys remember that?
Yep, sure do.
Okay. If she's working 80 hours a week, tell me in God's good green earth how she gets hired by the Trumbull County commissioners to represent their clerk's office at $250 an hour. Tell me how that happened.
Yeah, we saw that in the text. Or in the that
doesn't even make sense.
For those watching at home, what's the average? What's the average for something like that? Because I don't think everybody at home realizes how much that is above.
$250 an hour to represent a government is the going rate around here. But my point is, she said she was working 80 hours a week for the $155,000 a year she was earning.
Yes.
Earning, I think, $60 less than the county prosecutor.
Yes.
Lynn Morrow, who, by the way, is doing an outstanding job. But Lynn Morrow makes $60 more than Jen Ciccone did. And Jen Ciccone said she was working 80 hours a week. And while she's working 80 hours a week, she picked up another job at $250 an hour. The greed and the thumb in the nose to the public and to those public servants, I feel so bad when I walk into the clerk's office. Those people are dejected. The morale in there is the poorest I've ever seen. They feel embattled. No one should have to go to work feeling embattled. No one's physical stature should be made fun of.
Right.
By their boss.
And you're expected, and I've said this a million times on the podcast, you're in that position. You're supposed to be better than the average person. You're not supposed to be racist. You're not supposed to be doing these ridiculous things. You're supposed to be better. That's why we put you there. Because the voters, you convinced the voters that you were that, and now you're not supposed to be there. You got to get out.
If you want to be a public servant, you're not going to be rich being a public servant. The whole idea about being a public servant is to serve the public,
right,
and to get paid a fair wage. Now, look, let me just give you an example. Lynn Morrow, I can guarantee you, she was knocking down a lot more money than what she's making now. But she's a public servant. She understands and appreciates that concept. These two people do not. Yeah. Do not. And their private conversations, how gross. But we should have seen this. You see, he just put an R after his name. He didn't even have to file a treasurer because he spent less than $1,000 on his campaign. And just because he had an R after his name, he won. Danny DeCenzo, who is a qualified lawyer, who was running that office very efficiently, got thrown out because he had a D after his name. And whether you're the clerk of courts has nothing to do with what the National Democratic Party has to say about something.
Right.
People have to educate themselves on these races. These are important positions. Like that title office is a moneymaker for the county. You don't have to go, if you live in Mahoning County, you don't have to go to Mahoning County. You can go to any clerk, you can go to any title office and get your title work done. That's a sheer money maker for the county. That thing should be ramped up and pumping stuff out and making money for the county. Instead, he fired people. It was hours to get it. I had to go to another county to get my title work done.
Betras,
but him using that racial epithet to me was gross, disqualifying, and now he's saying I'm not resigning.
So
these are people.
I have two questions for you.
Listen to me. No, you have to understand that. You have to understand my passion in this.
I love it. I love your
passion.
She
was a judge. She was a freaking judge. Okay? Of a municipal court in Struthers. She lost the race by 10 points. That's a blowout in election terms. Said that she won in a landslide and then sued us and the 2 Republican board members and accused us of committing felonies to rig the race in her behalf. And Mike Ciccone filed that lawsuit. It was absolutely, incredibly stupid, ridiculous. And unfortunately, we couldn't sanction Mike because we have a Rule 11 in our pleadings. Like, as a lawyer, you're not allowed to file BS pleadings. But in election contest actions, it doesn't apply to that. He made outlandish allegations. Okay? On election night, she was saying, I won on a landslide. They fixed it. If anyone was paying attention to that, they should have seen that. And Kathy McNabb Welsh, they have slammed her. Let me tell you something about Kathy McNabb Welsh. I don't know what her politics are. She's one of the smartest lawyers I know and had that office humming.
And that was for those at home, that was the person who was there before Jennifer in the clerk of courts working before her.
And she was making like 80-some thousand a year. Then Jen comes in, goes to 130 and then 155.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then tries to justify it. Get on your show and justify her BS. And now, I guess since the money isn't flowing, Mike's no good now.
Right.
Huh?
So
no, you don't get to do that.
So I have a question about your post. I have a question that I think a lot of people are wondering. When Jen stated, she recently made a post where she's like, look what you made me do. She was posting Taylor Swift's song in the background. Mike, look what you made me do. And she is saying, like, she's basically admitting through those text messages and sharing those text messages now that she knew about all this stuff. She posted the picture of Michael's wife with the black eye. And she like, is there anything like could she get in legal trouble for holding on to that information, almost like blackmail? Or is that not how that works?
Unfortunately, I think one of your people commented, domestic violence is not a mandatory reporting. Under the law, certain people must report abuse if they see it. Elderly, children. I do not believe domestic violence. If a police officer finds out about domestic violence, it's a mandatory reporting. But my understanding is her husband is a police officer. If she showed her husband that this guy was beating his wife, he should have done something.
Yeah.
As morally, just like, hey, your boss is beating his wife and you're working for him. Maybe you should do an intervention or something.
Yeah.
But as long as she was getting that money, man, he was God's gift to creation. Now he's a no good POS. No, he was a no good POS before, and he is now. The only difference is she got tossed out. Now she wants to come in and play the hero. She doesn't get to do that. The dagger's in her hand, and the blood is dripping from her own dagger, from her own misdeeds.
That's
you don't get to do that.
No, you're right. You're right. So where do we go from here, Betras? What's next? What happens? Does this guy's not going to commit seppuku as you want in him to back out?
Because he couldn't make the money he's making right now if he tried. He'd have to rob someone.
Yeah, he's going to have to go work at Walmart. Nobody's going to hire him. Walmart might not hire him.
So what has to be done is there is a way to remove a county official.
Okay.
And I believe Chris Anderson, who I know you guys love, but at least Chris and Tom McCabe, at least Chris and Tom McCabe are on the same page.
Right.
And Chris doesn't even get the appointment. If Mike Ciccone resigns, the Republican Party committeemen appoint his replacement. That's one of their statutory duties. You know, Mahoney County is cut up into precincts. Each precinct has a committee person, one Democrat, one Republican.
Okay.
Okay. If there's an opening in a county office, those committeemen pick the replacement until the next election.
Okay.
Okay. Now Chris has no play in the game. Chris said you should resign. This is disqualifying. Tom McCabe and Gino DeFabio, the county commissioner. The other two county commissioners, you know, Carol had to remind us she was working 55 years for the county. I don't know if you saw her quote. And then Anthony goes, well, I don't know. No! Stand up and say resign. Every office holder, the judges can't. They can't get involved.
Right.
But every other office holder should be calling for his resignation.
Why can't the judges get involved?
Mass.
Why can't the judges get involved?
Because they're not allowed to get involved in political frays.
Okay.
If a judge is attacked, he's not even allowed to defend himself.
Huh. I didn't know that.
They wear the black as a symbol of impartiality. So they're not allowed to engage in any kind of partisan politics.
So then why do they have a D or R by their name when they get elected? That's stupid.
No, only in the appellate and Supreme Court races. County court, common pleas, and below, no.
Oh, okay.
You run in a primary, but then when it gets to the general election, there's no D or R after the name.
Okay.
And I don't think there should be a D or R after any judge's name. I'm sorry.
I agree.
We've had great judges lose. And I'll tell you, down in the 10th district, down in Columbus, they had great jurists, but because they were Republican, they all got tossed. Okay? You shouldn't get tossed because you're a Republican if you're a judge. You should get tossed because you're not doing your job. And so the state legislature did that because the Democrats actually got 3 seats on the Supreme Court because no one knew they were Democrats. And then once they changed that rule, and Ohio, such a Republican state, it'll be all Republicans. When you have one party rule, that's never good for a community. It's never good for the state. Never good to have one party rule. Never.
Yeah.
It's not good for anyone. People should have to compete for your vote. That's when you get the best person, when they have to compete for your vote. When they don't have to compete for your vote, you get nuts. And gerrymandering, not to get on my soapbox, and both blue states and red states do it. They put the crazy rights and the crazy lefts, they throw them in a room and they go, hey, go get shit done for the American people. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like the people, like the normal, moderate, in the middle people were like, well, I don't like what she's saying. I don't like what he's saying. And the whole country's shut down now. And this is what we've devolved into.
Yep.
Okay? But you know, I was on your show. I could have predicted this. Now, here's how you get rid of Mike.
Okay.
You have to go to the last gubernatorial election. You have to file a complaint and then get 15% of the people that voted in that election to sign a petition. And then you file a lawsuit. And it's either a judge or a jury. And then malfeasance, misfeasance, drunkenness, certainly using a racial epithet would be disqualifying. And then you have a trial, and then the court with its equitable powers can remove him from office. But that's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, no, it sounds
that's
like it.
It's about 15,000 signatures. And so it's pretty hard to get. But if I were the chairman right now, I mean, Chris knows what he's doing. But, you know, Chris doesn't get to a point. Tom McCabe, this is Tom McCabe's appointment. I mean, as far as I know, every Republican office holder has signed that letter asking him to resign.
Right.
But the pressure needs to be ramped up.
I mean,
you can't say resign and then leave.
The clerk of court's office cannot be super efficient right now. There isn't a lot going on over there right now. There can't be, right? I mean, who wants to work for that guy?
How about if you are the employee that they were making fun of her body.
Right.
And saying if she kisses my ass enough, I'll let her keep her job.
How? That's a terrible boss.
What kind of a mindset do you think that employee has, let alone the employees she works with? How do you think they go into work feeling every day? You think the morale is good?
Yeah.
And yet they go in there and they do their work. And the judges, that clerk of court is so integral to the judges. They got to be pulling their hair out, and they can't say shit with a mouthful. They can't.
Yeah.
They need people like me and other lawyers to stand up and say, resign, dude. Just resign. You're embarrassing us. This is making national news now.
Do you think
that's all we need?
Think he'll resign? Do you think he'll resign eventually or no?
No. You'll have to. You're going to have to forcibly remove him. He won't do it.
That's crazy.
He's going to dig his heels in and say, "Oh well, I know I had the allegations of beating my wife, and I know that I had the allegations of making fun of my employees and just making a total shit show of the office, and but I'm going to dig my heels in and not resign."
Right. Well, Uncle Dave Betras, it has been fun. I appreciate you calling in, taking time out of your busy day.
Those posts where it's time for me to retire, you tell them to come do a workout with me at my CrossFit gym. You tell them to keep my schedule.
Uncle Dave, you invite me out to your CrossFit gym. I'll do a workout with you. We can do a workout. We'll have Joe. We'll have Luke film it. I'll do a workout with you tomorrow. You let me know. I'll come with you.
All right, I'll call you.
Is this
Isaac I'm talking to?
Yes, this is Isaac. Yeah, Luke's not in studio today, but I'll do a workout with you, and we can film it, and we can tell the people how much of a young man you really are.
That's it. All right, my guys. Take it easy.
All right, one thing, Dave, you really have to get a fan page for your dog. I am following the exploits of your dog more than you now, so I think he needs his own page.
And my wife, Dave, my wife actually works at the vet clinic where you take your dog, and she said it was hilarious. It was hysterical because she said you were in your room where they put you, and you were jamming out to music while you were waiting to have your dog looked at. And she's like, he's the only guy that's ever done that. He's just jamming out to music in his room, waiting for us to take care of him. I'm like, that's Uncle Dave for you. That's Uncle Dave for you.
I was getting the dog to dance a little bit. That's all.
Right.
His name's Bandit. You could follow him on Instagram.
Bandit. Yes. He's got his own page.
He looks like Crypto. He looks like
the super dog.
Like Superman's dog.
Love it. Well, all right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
Be good, Uncle Dave. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
I listen, Brian said, cut off Dave. It's become a political campaign ad. There is a little bit of that, I'm sure. Him being the past chair of the Democratic Party, and now what's his name takes that position, but
Anderson.
Yeah. But
your buddy.
Right. He loves us. Huge fan. I love how Dave even says it. Like, he was totally warned by Chris. Those guys don't like me. But not that I don't like Chris. I just don't agree with a lot of what he has to say. And he's said some things that I greatly disagree with. But it's like, listen, Brian, don't let the world and don't let this stupid political game that the world plays convince you that Dave wasn't right in this situation, because he totally was. And he might have opinions that you disagree with, but I think in this situation, he is trying to do the right thing and get rid of this dude, because we can all agree that guy should not be sitting in that position. Joe says, what if all employees of the clerk of courts walk out due to Mike? Like, that's what I'm wondering. They can't be doing a lot of business over there. They can't be getting a lot of work done. They can't be efficient at all. Not that the government is ever efficient, but I don't know.
But I believe those positions pay very well. So to walk out for political rather than paycheck reasons.
Right. Well, think about him. If he's making a crap load of money, he knows if he leaves, he's going to lose his job. He's going to lose his paycheck. You're going to go somewhere else and get a job that pays that same amount of money. No, you're going to have to move. So he's like, I'll just sit here until they force me out.
And why would you not?
While they force me out, I'll look for other jobs in other parts of the country.
Yeah, he will never make that buck anywhere in the private sector, ever.
Whew, what a situation.
Yeah.
So I've said this before on our show, but Dave Betras used to have a law show on the radio with Ron Verb in the evenings. I think it was Thursday nights.
Still is. He's still doing it.
He still does it?
Yeah.
He still does it. I got to call in tonight. But I loved that show. I haven't watched it in forever or listened to it in forever. I loved that show.
I do too.
And I gotta get Ron Verb's phone number from Betras and try and get Ron on.
You think he'll do it?
No, absolutely not. But
I will convince him. I'll send him an email tonight and say,
show him. You got to show Ron Verb this podcast.
But you got to make your pitch. Like, why would he do it?
Why would he do it?
He's got 4 hours every day to say what's on his mind. Like,
right.
Well, what more could he share with you than he does already on the air?
Well,
come on, elevator pitch.
What he could show people his face. Does he? He's not an ugly dude.
No,
you know, he doesn't have necessarily a face for radio. Show the people your face, the face behind the voice that the people have heard for years. Come on the podcast, Ron Verb. I've listened to you growing up since I was riding around in the car with my dad. I listened on my own when I worked in the trucking industry. I listened on my own at home when you had your law show at 6 o'clock with Dave Betras, and I forget who the other dude was, but they would pick on Dave the entire time, and I loved it. It was so awesome.
Well, Verb, a couple things he can't do on his show. Number one, his command of the English language when it comes to words that you're not allowed to say on the air is amazing.
He struggles?
He does good. He is a cunning linguist.
Yeah,
Number two,
I am not that, sir.
The dude has a sense of humor that never really resonates on the air. The dude is funny as shit.
Yeah. And I remember getting a little bit of that when the three of them were shooting the shit, and they were picking on Dave, and it was great. But Ron Verb's very Republican. Dave Betras is obviously, he was the chair of the Democrats, but the more Dave talks, the more to the center he shifts.
Honestly, my opinion of Dave over the years, and we've been in business, he's been around for as long as I've been in business.
Right.
And early on, I thought he was very partisan, very captured by Democrats. And as time goes on,
he's shifted, bro.
He has.
Yeah.
Yes. He's so reasonable. I agree with him more and more every day.
I don't think he's shifting. I think he's staying the same. And I think national Dems are shifting.
Okay, that could be
farther left. What did he say in the middle of his podcast? He was bringing up a point about competition. He said there needs to be competition. There cannot be a one-party system. That is competition isn't exactly something that Dems love.
But I have to challenge that. You were okay with cities and districts being captured by Democrats, but only when they're threatened by Republican gerrymandering, all of a sudden you come to the conclusion that gerrymandering is all of a sudden bad when the Mahoning County's been locked down by Democrats
forever.
And competition wasn't like, easy on your mind.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, now they want competition.
Competition's all of a sudden very important.
At a local level.
Yeah, when it's being challenged.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I question that.
Right. But it's funny that he's all about competition.
But that's true. It's absolutely,
especially in industry.
The principle is true.
As New York City gets locked down by communism and they want no competition, the government will decide because the government knows what's best for you. They always know what's best for you. They'll make the decision. Don't worry. Don't worry, everyone of New York City. The government will take care of you, and they'll do a great job.
But today, I agree with Uncle Dave. In principle.
Fantastic job. You'll get everything you need if you just give in and let the city of New York and all of its people be decided by the government. And everything that they do, the government will take care of you. That doesn't sound like an evil genius's plot or anything.
So as far as a threat to culture, Mandani, we invoked his name a bunch of times here. Does the socialism angle or the Muslim angle concern you more on the basis of like cultural disruption?
What's really interesting, I have been on my walks, my daily walks. I've been listening to the Bible. I want to get to the Bible front to back all the way through. What's interesting, and you don't realize it until you do a deep dive into how much the culture, Western civilization, revolves around the principles and ideas that came from
the Bible.
The Bible.
For sure. Foundationally,
yeah.
2000 or 200 years
yeah.
of it.
Like separation of church and state is a thing. Religion, Christianity is still like a cult-based religion. But the principles, it's all been shifted and built up from medieval times from this Christian idea. So, I don't know. I don't know how much of that will be impacted by the Muslim faith control. We'll see. New York City will be an
experiment.
An experiment for sure. And then also, I'm so interested in seeing the communist take unravel because it's never worked. It's never worked, and it never will work because of competition.
Math.
Just math. Because the communist strategy of letting the government determine the means of production and letting the government control the means of production in order to give the people the perfect amount inevitably leads to authoritarian government where they control everything and the people that control everything have all the power and they never give the power up. Because ultimately in communism, right, the people are supposed to control everything and the government only controls the means of production until the government steps down and the people lead. There is no need for government. It leads to anarchy. Anarchy ensues and there is no government and everybody just sings Kumbaya and moves into the future. But the people or the people at the top that control the means of production, that control the government, never give up their power. So we are going to watch New York City, and maybe it'll work. Maybe we can bet on it. Would you like to place your bets? Would you like to place your bets on it?
0% chance of succeeding.
If it happens, statistically, what are the chances of New York not burning to the ground and everybody not running out?
Well, all right, so the missing,
maybe it'll work. The people voted it in. Maybe it'll work.
Okay, so the missing element is in theory. So let's just say everybody in this office, we are going to willingly give up our paycheck, right?
Yeah.
We're going to let it be decided by somebody who's more noble or smarter than we are, and they're going to make better decisions than we are. Cool. Right. As long as we have authority. Let's just say I told you we're going to give all the three of us, BJ, you and I, we're going to send our paychecks to Ciccone, right? Michael Ciccone, and he's going to decide what we're entitled to, what we should do, and where our money should be spent. As long as we trust the person who's shepherding our money, everything works out. If we were to give it to Elon Musk, it's different than if we give it to Michael Ciccone. Right? And so, like in New York City, if you give 70% of your income to the government, we have to trust that those people are smart enough or have morals enough to make great decisions with our money.
Yeah.
Do you trust that New York's going to do great things with the money that you send them?
Right. No, there's no way. It's going to be horrible. And all of the business owners, like if you go the true communism route, right? Like business owners, no, there are no business owners. You don't own anything. That's true communism. The business owners are going to leave New York because they don't own. If it goes the true communism route, the government owns the businesses. So they're just going to bounce, dude. Like, they're not going to stay.
Have you ever been to Mexico, by the way?
Youngstown studio, BJ from the back room. Michael Ciccone eats corn the long way.
I think BJ he doesn't like Mr. Ciccone. I don't think he does.
He eats the corn this is the corn on the cob. He goes this way.
Hey, have you ever been to Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever talked to any of the people who actually work in Mexico?
Yeah.
I was on a tour bus and I talked to the driver of the bus and I really just told him to tell me his story. In Mexico, this guy works like for $3 an hour driving this bus.
Yeah.
In his home life, the government gives him sanctioned cows, right?
Okay.
He is gifted cows.
Okay.
His job is to be able to take care of these cows for the years in order to grow up from small cow to big cow.
Yeah.
And the government owns all of the production of these cows. So after raising these cows for a matter of 2 years or whatever, they're slaughtered and whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's given a small percentage of doing the state's business, right?
Yeah.
And do you think it is a handsome reward?
Right.
Or do you think it's a slavery reward?
Yeah, right. And it's like, do you think he's going to go above and beyond to make those cows as healthy as possible for the government because he gets paid his 2 cents to help make those cows as good as possible? Or is he going to do the absolute bare minimum because he gets the same amount of money no matter what?
Yeah, he's going to figure out.
He's going to do the absolute bare minimum. Whatever works, he's going to do it. And he's going to stick to that same thing every single time because that's the going rate.
Yeah, if the cow dies, you die. And anything above that, you get your 2 cents. That's where he's at right there.
Yeah. And then you go to Mexico. I've been to Mexico, very, very poor areas of Mexico in college. And you like, there's like a dirt hut. And then you look on the street, the dirt road, there's a stinking police car. It's like a Charger souped up driving out of the road. I'm like, that's kind
Wait a minute.
Yeah. That
good
doesn't
business in law
seem
enforcement.
right. That doesn't seem right. But yeah.
Donnie likes Jennifer Ciccone.
Yeah, I've seen his comments on her post. I bet that's a fake profile.
Do you think, though, the crazier the politician, the more the allure for the romance feelings?
I'll tell you. Yeah, probably.
Nikki Frenchco in general?
Yes. I'll tell you what. I'm getting to the point where I'm excited for, like, maybe we go back down the road of, like, politicians being fake, being like fake professional. Like, just be a good advertisement for the United States. If you're going to be a president and you're not going to freaking be able to do anything because they really can't ultimately do anything, just be like, at least be like Obama. Like, at least be kind of chill, you know? Like, you might not agree with anything Obama did, but he was pretty chill. He was good at public speaking. You got to give him credit. He was good at public speaking. But, like, put on a good face, wore nice suits, spoke nicely. Like, I want to, like, Republican or Democrat, can we go back down that direction and just be like professional? I don't know. Professional.
Can I do
as somebody who hates professionalism, it's really interesting. I'm making this argument, but like, I just want to break. I just want to
no drama.
Just be chill.
Can I do a quick?
Like, maybe we have like a pothead president.
Can I give you
a like? Gets in, he's like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Can I do a hot or not segment with you?
Yeah, sure.
And really, I'm going to name you some females.
Smash or pass.
I'm assuming that you prefer females.
Yes.
Good assumption.
Smash or pass.
Okay.
As a married man, that I'm not allowed to do any of these things.
Okay.
Yes.
Nikki Frenchco, hot or not?
Shot.
Hot.
Yeah, I'll give her credit.
AOC.
Hot.
Totally hot.
Yeah, totally. You kidding me? Crazy, but hot. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I need a picture. I hear everybody talking about her.
I will deliver.
That's Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering. MTG Magic the Gathering. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
There's a couple in here that are decent. Hot or not?
Yeah, smash.
So are you okay? So is the craziness associated with the level of hotness that you feel for these people?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If the crazier they are, the hotter they appear.
Yeah, because they're gonna do things that the normal not crazy girl wouldn't do. You know?
Okay. Like Tulsi Gabbard seems like she's not crazy.
Yeah, but she's still. I think she's still beautiful.
Okay.
She's got the little rogue hair thing going on.
Yes. Does that do it for you?
From X-Men? Yeah. I'm being a nerd. I'm like, I like that. Yeah.
Okay. What about the press secretary? What's her name?
A pass. I'm good on that.
No pass on the blondie.
I'm good on that.
You ever seen her in bikini? There's some bikini shots.
Are there bikini shots of her?
Dude, she was.
I think she's probably in shape at one time. You know,
dude, I got to show you because I think you're going to change your mind.
Are you sure this isn't AI? We can't trust anything these days.
No. All right. So what's her name? Carolyn Levitt. Carolyn Levitt.
She is cute. She's very cute.
But she actually competed in. I don't know.
Back in the day, though.
Yeah, back in the day, she was a hot item.
Yeah, she's cute.
Right,
the
so
one up, is that her
here.
right there? No way.
This one's
no,
her.
she's cute.
Yeah.
She's definitely cute.
Hot or not?
Hot, I guess.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Joe, are these what year is it? A Trump pageant. She was in a Trump pageant?
Was she? Oh, Miss America. He owned the Trump Miss America.
Did he really? I
didn't
know Trump owned that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's classic Trump.
I see these girls, they're naked all the time, and I just walk backstage and there's pee everywhere. Not pee.
She recently had a baby too. Kellen says she recently had a baby too. Still looks good. Danny probably loves Nikki Frenchco. Smoking hot. AOC not. Dude, look up some pictures of AOC. She is not ugly.
And
AOC
really
is not ugly. She is very pretty.
Yeah.
She has like anime eyes. Like very big eyes.
Yes.
Maxine Waters.
No, dude, you just ruined the fantasy.
Pull up Maxine Waters.
Dude, you don't want me to do that.
Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we're working with. Welcome to the end of the show where we don't do anything. We just talk about
hot girls.
We're just sexists that talk about if girls are hot or not.
You're gonna say a no. I'm going with no.
No,
on your behalf.
You know, if there's one thing, one of my favorite shows on planet Earth, it's called How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
and he has this character who's like he's a womanizer. And he writes this book, the playbook, as he calls it, on how to get hot girls. And he says in one of his playbooks is every now and then you got to toss a fatty a bone. I toss Maxine Waters a bone.
All right, Charlie Sheen.
All right, Joe.
Pam Bondi.
Just so we're not called sexist, let's do guys next, and I'll tell you smash or pass.
Okay, let's do
some guys.
Oh, Bongino.
Give me some dudes.
Okay, Bongino.
As a straight male, I'm going to play smash or pass. If you haven't already, go follow me on Facebook, and you can see my beautiful wife.
Hegseth is a smash or pass.
Hegseth, he's a good looking dude. You know, I think he deserves the smash. Wait, go Bongino. What's Bongino from? He has a podcast, doesn't he?
Bongino was a Fox News host. He did a podcast, and now he is.
He's got a weird hairline, dude. Just shave your head. You know.
Okay.
That thing is back there.
What's that dude from? We do all politicians, or we can go into entertainment.
We could do politicians. I don't know. Are we sticking to politicians? People, do you want us to stick to politicians, or do you want me to vote dudes from? Yeah, just look up Donald Trump. I just want to see like pictures of Donald Trump.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Donald Trump is probably he's probably pretty gross. I mean, he's pretty gross. Like the shape of his body is amazing.
Okay, the hottest politicians. Let me give you the list of.
Joe Biden is not attractive. Okay,
we're not. Pritzker. He's a rotund man.
Pritzker's. I'm not letting.
Oh, how about Harry Stisson? Do you know Harry?
I'm not letting Joe Biden get anywhere near me either.
Dude, this is so crazy. Oh, you got to admit, Gavin Newsom is he's
a good looking dude.
He's a good looking dude.
He's good at speaking, but that guy, I don't agree with a lot of what he says. But man, and the thing is. Like, he's a good-looking dude that knows how to speak, but, dude, California, bro. You're leading California, and you want to lead our country. In California, mass exodus from California. We've already brought this up. Like, people are leaving California in droves. You're not doing a good job. Yeah, no, he's
dude,
Mitch McConnell.
What about the Canada guy?
Would you let... I just want to grab Mitch McConnell's chins. You know? I just want to grab...
Old, dude. Leave him alone. He's
grab his chins as he zones out. You know, just as I grab his chin.
What about the Canada dude?
Oh yeah,
the Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, what was his name? He's not Prime Minister anymore. Yeah. Oh my God, what's his name? What was his name? Oh man, why can't I think of Prime Minister of Canada's? Trudeau.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau.
He's not bad looking.
No, he's good looking. He's same thing. People like him because he's super left and he's a good looking dude. But we must not let good looks just determine why. Like, he was very, 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 very.
How about Lauren Boebert? That is a fantasy crush that I may or may not
Jr.
have.
is handsome. RFK Jr. is handsome, but I'm not letting him smash because of that damn voice.
Can I go back to girls real quick? Because Lauren Boebert, you gotta give me your real.
Like, I can't even listen to him for a long period of time because it just hurts. She is cute.
Yeah,
she's got the
she's crazy, like to a magnitude of 10.
I can tell she's got the what's her name vibe to her, the Trumbull County lady,
Nikki
Frenchco vibe to her. She's got the Nikki Frenchco hair and everything,
and she's got fun bags for sure.
Yes, it's got the heavies. Justin Trudeau is dating Katy Perry. I saw that.
Yes,
that's something. Speaking of fun bags, Katy Perry,
fun bags,
right? Hegseth is good looking.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is what the pod has become. You know,
we started off. Sorry, that was my doing.
We started strong, ladies and gentlemen. Now we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. We got to get out of here. But
if you say cock and balls, I win another $100,000.
Cock and balls. But thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you joining us. We're gonna get out of here. But if you haven't already, please go follow the MLO Bros. Go follow Youngstown Studio. Also, oh my gosh, we forgot to talk about Menchie's. BJ, pull up Menchie's. Menchie's is a sponsor of our podcast. We appreciate them. They're amazing. Frozen yogurt, right in Boardman, owned by a local family. They're great. Plenty of seasonal flavors that you can go check out. All the pumpkin goodness that everybody loves during the fall season. All kinds of toppings, all kinds of good stuff. But 813 Boardman Pullen Road, Suite 7, Boardman. It's right next. You know where that little spot is. What is it? That's not the Boardman Plaza.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't even know what that little plaza is called, but you know where Menchie's is.
Just GPS it.
GPS it. Menchie's in Boardman. They're the best. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. Also, Youngstown Phantoms, big season coming up here. Check them out as well. But thank you all so much for watching. Also, MLO Bros stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. We are loan officers. We are real estate agents. If you need help buying a house, you need help financing, you need help selling your house, give us a call. Rates are actually coming down. I think yesterday rates average 30-year was 6.125. So interest rates are slowly trickling down. We need to get them into the fives. And we're actually able to write really low interest rate loans in the fives, and we have been. So if you have bought a house in the past 2 or 3 years and your interest rate is in the sevens, it's time to think about refinancing.
Give me an idea. So the difference between a person's paying 4% versus 7%.
It's a couple $100. Depending. So it depends on a couple factors when you're looking at financing, right? The factors are, how big is your loan amount? If you have a $50,000 loan, right? And this is the argument I make with all the old people that are like, I bought a house in 1970 for $50,000. And I remember when interest rates were 18%, right? If you have a $50,000 loan, 7% interest on that $50,000 loan isn't as crushing as 7% on a $400,000 loan. Remember, the national average, the average home price in the United States is over $450,000 now, which is insane. So 7.5% on $450,000 versus 7.5% on a $50,000 loan. That's a huge difference.
So give me the $200,000. Doing apples for apples. If I'm paying 4 versus 7 on a $200,000 house, so I come to you, say I can get a lower interest rate with you. What does the percentage even save? You
are looking. So you can't. And I'm not allowed to quote rates. I'm not allowed to quote payments. I have all these legal barriers that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Screw them.
as a loan officer,
That'd
which
be helpful,
sucks. So that's why
Isaac.
you can't, like, all of these lenders online, they'll quote rates, right? And they'll be like, I get you 4%. And then they have all these little tiny at the bottom of the advertisement, they have all these little words that are all of the things that they have to mention in the post, but that greatly impact that 4%. You have to qualify for that 4%. You might have a ridiculous amount of closing costs. It depends on your credit score. It depends on all these different factors. But let a loan officer, myself, check, and I'll see if I can get your interest rate down if you qualify for it. And then you can save from, if you have a $200,000 loan amount and you're going from 7 to 4% or 7 to 5%, the rule of thumb is 1.5% lower. You could save like a couple $100 off your monthly payment.
And in a year, so if it costs, what's it cost to refinance? Like if it,
so the other thing to know is it's going to cost you a couple $1,000s in closing costs to refinance. But if you have equity in your home, which means if you bought it for $200,000 5 years ago and now it's worth $250,000, the bank will not make you pay that out of pocket. They'll just add it to your loan amount because you have $50,000 in equity. So they'll just add it onto your loan amount. All you'll have to pay out of pocket is an appraisal. Okay. So you pay an appraisal to get your house appraised and say how much your house is worth. You pay, I think, $600, $500, $600, depending on the lender. That's all you're going to pay out of pocket. The couple $1,000 gets tacked onto your loan amount, and then you save, let's say, $200 a month. Do not refinance if you are going to be buying a house or selling your house and buying another one in the next 2 years, because you just got to do the math. If it's $4,000 in closing costs and you save $200 a month, there's 12 months in a year. So 2 years would be 24 months, $4,800. So if you save $200 a month, you're in the clear, and you refi, you're in the clear after 2 years because you've made up $4,800 over the course of the last 2 years. So after those 2 years are up, you're just profiting $200 a month. So if you know you're going to be
in interest savings.
Yep. Yeah, you're saving $200
and if you plan on owning the home for 10 years, that could be
it's a no-brainer.
$20,000 in savings that cost you $4,000 to get to.
A no-brainer.
Yeah.
So you save, you immediately start saving $200 a month. The other thing that happens when you refi, you don't have a payment the next month. It jumps like 2 months. So a lot of people, I mean, you're going to pay, it's going to get added into the closing cost, but you save yourself a month of not having to make it's cash flow. You don't have to make a payment for a month and a half or whatever it ends up being. But yeah, it's worth looking into. If you bought a house in the last 2 or 3 years and you have a 7% in your mortgage, run some numbers. At least let someone run some numbers. Me, whoever. But I'll be honest with you. I talk to you like a human being. I have, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I'm not the suit and tie lender. If you want a suit and tie lender, go somewhere else. But I'm going to talk to you like a human being. I'm going to break it down to you at a 7th grade level of understanding, and you will understand how it works, and I'll teach you how it works. And I do that at either job. As a loan officer, as a real estate agent, call me. I'll happily help you out. We'll use our platform to help you sell your house. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks, Betras, if you're still watching, for coming, joining us. And we'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us